take a look at the sentence scramble activities and combining activities and see how we can incorporate this into our intervention tomorrow.
Yes.
Since we focused on math 4 days this week and we're going to jump into ELA just as a quick refresh before testing. So what do you guys think we should do?
Well, do we wanna do the easier ones for lower kids and then
So-
kinda do these harder ones for those to differentiate it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we can, and I'm just gonna throw this out there before I forget. Our schedule has changed for intervention tomorrow. We have lunch during intervention,
Oh.
so we'll just do
Wow.
our third period classes at the end of the period for intervention.
So we
Okay.
won't actually see our
We won't
intervention.
see our intervention
So
kids.
that won't
We'll-
matter.
We'll see our third period kids.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're coming
So,
straight
wow.
down third period?
I'm sorry.
They'll go straight to third
Yeah, yeah,
period
yeah.
from
Okay.
connection, but not, from
Oh, and then I'll
connection.
have sixth graders during third period.
And then they go 6,
That'll
7
be
still?
testing.
6,
Oh,
7.
yeah, mine will be testing, so I can step
6,
in.
7,
3, 4, no,
I don't
4,
know,
5.
Weldon told me I have to look.
6,
Okay.
7, 4,
Well,
5.
I'll be testing, so I
So
can
you
step in
can-
to help.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be good,
Okay.
especially, depending on how we do it with our classes that have our ESOL kids.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to break this down, make it a little more simple.
Well, the unscramble the sentence is perfect for ESOL kids, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you why.
And
They're
I'm-
still
yeah.
having a hard time, especially with prepositions and
Yes.
prepositional phrases, putting things in the correct order.
Mhm.
And adjectives and nouns are hard for them
Very.
because in Spanish, which is the predominant language of our ESOLs,
they're
the
backwards.
adjective comes
Mhm.
after the noun,
Yes.
But then in the brush strokes, we tell them, you can do that.
Yes, the rules were made to be broken.
Yes.
And they're like, oh.
I tell them they have to know the rule and then they can break the rule.
Mhm. Oh, yes.
So, you could almost use several of these as tiers of activities
Mhm.
and then just flexibly group the kids.
Yeah, that was a possibility.
Yeah, we still have our spreadsheet with our groups.
Yes.
We
Mhm.
could just send the multiple copies and say, if they were in this class, they get this sheet, if they were in this
Mhm.
class, they get this sheet.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Does
perfect.
that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do that. It's planning first and second tomorrow?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, if we need to, I'm not doing anything after school today, so I could, make some copies, get started on it, because we'll need how many?
There's 252-ish kids
Yeah,
in seventh grade.
yeah.
259, I think includes Portland Kirk.
But you wouldn't need that many of each one.
Well,
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Inslee has most of my small group kids.
Mhm.
So
Inslee and Alexander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a ESOL group too.
Yes.
And I actually think, since we've been working on sentence talks anyway,
I know, I think,
these combining sentences
Mm-hmm.
or
Perfect.
is something
It's
challenging that
perfect.
they could do. We might could edit out some of the instructions,
Mm-hmm.
just like specific mention to relative, like,
Oh, yes.
just telling them use,
yeah.
Yeah.
clause
What's that?
conjunction.
What's
Yeah,
that? What's a relative
Mhm.
clause?
Yeah,
The one that starts with an adjective, this, that, these are those.
but they've been hearing like subordinate conjunction.
Yes,
so
they
so we
should,
can just change
yeah.
the terminology
Yeah.
and, I actually think this,
This one, I think.
Which one is that?
Just the advanced one.
is a good one.
Oh, here, this is, I think this.
But I also thought that other one make it
Yes, it's
flow.
Yeah, this is
a
good.
page. Yeah.
Okay, so that's.
Because
okay.
this would allow them to do compound and complex.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
here's
then
the
maybe
back,
for
and
the
here would
harder,
be
for
the
the
back.
more advanced kids, we could give them a challenge and
Yeah.
they could try compound complex.
Mhm.
So because we got 3, so we have the unscramble the sentence, and then we have the make it the flow for the mid kids, and then the advanced for the more advanced.
So they're really all doing,
These are
the-
my IELs.
Mhm.
so they're really all doing the
And
same
maybe
thing,
my small
just
groups.
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, because Lisa, she
That's
had
good, yeah.
she had to cover a class, and then she was gonna meet with Jeannie during second, so she couldn't be here today. But I told her, I texted her, and I said, hey, I'm gonna have some stuff that's perfect for AC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she was very excited about
I know
that.
she wanted to do
Okay.
something with writing and I
Yeah.
don't know what she had in mind, but this
Yeah.
is writing.
It is,
And
it
it's gonna
is.
help if they have questions with punctuation, I mean,
Mhm.
like
It's
reinforcing
gonna
a
really
lot of
reinforce
things.
all of it,
And
yeah.
then, when they need to edit, they'll know what to do.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Cause when I was looking at ideas, because when we decided that conventions was our week, well, it was, the data showed it was our weakest.
Right.
I was like scrambling, trying to figure out, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm like, well, it's gonna have to be writing focused.
Yeah, and it had to
So-
be sentence, starting with sentences.
Yes, so it tied in
Sentence
perfectly
types.
with what we've been doing.
It is, it's perfect.
Yes.
And the only other thing that I had thought when I saw text features on there, you know, we talked about it, it's been a long
It's been a minute.
time.
Mm-hmm.
If we had something, maybe even if it's a warm-up in class.
Yeah, there's an
maybe
IXL on text features too.
There
There's
is,
a-
I have a
something-
video, okay.
Yeah.
Something to just get those terms back in their face
Yes.
before next week.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
use, every time we look at a text, we go over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do too, but I mean like specifically where they,
Mm-hmm.
cause sometimes, you know, when you're talking about, then they think there's a disconnect, like they need to see it
Yeah,
all
okay,
together
okay.
at some point.
Cause I've got something, I've got, you know, I'm doing my word wall, I've got cause and effect, I've
Yeah.
got compare and contrast, and I see them, they look.
Yeah.
They look, especially with that milestones review we've been doing through quizzes.
Mhm.
I had some kids go up there. They're like,
And I've had them coming in saying, do you have another one you can add to the list? I did the other ones
Yes.
last night.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh gosh, I
Yes.
wish everybody would do that.
And
yeah, we've been doing it in quizzes so that it can translate. So,
the review.
During
for
your
milestones.
class?
Yes, during our
Okay,
classes.
good.
yes, yes, yes.
I was like, I haven't seen this. This wasn't sent
Yes,
out. No.
yes,
In your
yes,
class?
yes,
you
we got
haven't
that.
been doing it?
Oh my gosh, yes, yes.
I'm still trying to get the math.
Yeah. Well, if it's, well, I asked a couple of my sixth graders yesterday when I saw them, I said, so how was milestones? Don't tell me what's on it, you're not supposed to share that with me, but how was it now? They said it was easy. Really?
Okay, that could be double.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That
the
means
one
I went through it
asked-
really quickly,
Yeah.
or?
The ones I asked,
Are the kids that take things seriously?
the other kids that take things seriously,
But you
that
know,
actually
if
put
they
effort.
have done all their IXLs that we've given
Oh,
them,
Yes.
I think it probably
it
is.
should be easier
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Cause remember, I was making the AC kids, they had 4 skills to work on in IXL each week. And they got an average grade for those 4, that was a weekly grade.
And it's my
they were so
understanding
glad
that
they
the
didn't have
Deacon is
any.
harder than the milestone.
It is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Mhm.
they might feel like it's easy,
Maybe,
if
maybe,
they'll just write.
yes,
How is that gonna translate? Like, will
Take your
IXL
time.
still be a tool that we can use?
yes.
Yeah.
It
With-
ties
with
in with
the-
our new materials.
It does?
Yes.
And you said in your presentation that the test will change a little bit too.
Yes, the test is gonna change.
Okay,
They're
so
not- they're
it's
not
still
gonna
a
write
good
it to
grade.
your teacher.
Only certain grades will write essays.
Mhm.
Oh, which grade levels? Do you know?
It's,
It was
5th and 8th?
5th and 8th.
there's three,
Yeah,
there's
I think
3 grades, is it
5th,
fifth,
8th,
6th, and 8? There's
or
3
is it,
grades.
wait, it might be 3rd, 5th, and 8th. It might be going back to what it used to be.
There were 2,
Yeah.
but
But it wasn't
there's 2,
third.
there's 2
Okay.
side-by-side grades that I thought,
Oh,
remember why
really?
they did it 2 years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
It could be the end of
It wasn't
elementary and
us.
the beginning of middle.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not us, it's not 7th grade,
Okay.
7th grade has the peer review. So
Yeah.
everybody, and there's no constructed response
Oh,
at all for anybody.
Yeah.
They're removing
I
that,
don't know if I like that.
yeah, they're,
I know.
yeah.
Well, for some of our kids who aren't great essay writers, that's gonna,
But
that's.
the
that's
short
not good.
constructed
Mhm.
responses
Yeah,
are good.
because that's good for those that, you know, aren't the greatest writers.
Well,
Because
it's
they know
good
race, they know race
because
strategy.
they can show that what they can do rather than just choosing a
Mhm.
multiple choice. It's an opportunity for them to show
Mhm.
evidence of writing for learning.
Well, this has been good. We've got our ideas for tomorrow for intervention. We're set.
Good to go.
Our
Yeah.
last
I like
official
this.
intervention.
This is really cool.